You know, when you spend half your life in fleabag hotels like I do, you have a lot of time to contemplate life's great questions. Here's a question that isn't great, but it does vex me. Why does nobody care about UCLA football? I think I have an answer. Good morning. I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is Faithful Angelenos. It is April 22nd, 2022. I am trapped in this ratbag hotel for one more day, trying to make extra money in Joe Biden's America. If you like the content we've been putting out for the last 2 months, clickety-clack the like button, clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notifications bell. Hit that. We put out a new video between 9 and 10 a.m. every single day. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And yes, comment. Because I'm not God, I don't know everything. Before we get to the main topic of UCLA football and me reminding you that the Bruins actually exist, let's go check the scoreboard and the notes. The Kings inch ever so closer to a playoff berth. 4-1, they defeat the Blackhawks. Now, Filipino scored for the 5th consecutive game. And here is the Kings' path. Their magic number is 4 points. Any combination of 4 points that the Kings get from the remaining 3 games, or that the Vegas Golden Knights concede from their remaining 4 games, any combination of 4 points, the Kings get in. Meanwhile, tonight, your first place Los Angeles Dodgers will play the Padres at 7 p.m. That's Julio Urias versus Nick Martinez. Speaking of the Dodgers, I have to give Commissioner Rob Manfred credit, because you, sir, have a foot made of granite. The way you keep kicking that can down the road on Trevor Bauer's administrative leave. Yeah, they extended Trevor Bauer's administrative leave for the 3rd time to April 29th. Make a decision. Now, we've talked about Trevor Bauer before on other clips that I put on YouTube, right? I don't want to rehash the whole thing, but he has been on administrative leave since July, 10 full months. And you can't decide whether or not to suspend the guy or let him play. Really. You keep kicking that can down the road. You, sir, must get an amazing mani-pedi, because your feet do not have even the slightest bruise on them after all that delaying. Stop kicking the can. Make a decision. You're punishing the Dodgers for nothing. Dodgers didn't do anything. We don't even know if Trevor Bauer did anything, but we know the Dodgers didn't. By the way, UCLA football, a safety from St. John Bosco, Jackson Harley. He is a 3-star recruit. He is going to UCLA, which that's what inspired the question, right? This is nothing against Mr. Harley. I hope he makes something of himself by going to UCLA. But UCLA should have all the momentum in LA college football. And it's all about USC again. What the hell happened? Look, full disclosure, I'm a USC fan, but I didn't watch USC UCLA last year. I knew it was going to be terrible football. And oh, by the way, it was, because the final score was 62-33 in favor of the Bruins. So the Bruins beat their rival handily, and they qualified for a bowl game. Why are we all talking about Lincoln Riley? It's simple, actually. It's because the athletic department itself doesn't give a damn. There is no connection. There's a complete disconnect between the athletic department and the football program. And there has been for decades. Okay? Sometimes the simplest answer is the right one. Now, I realize UCLA has a basketball tradition, but they weren't dominant in basketball again until the last couple of years. Right? If you think about it. So why not put some of that investment and attention on football? But they didn't. Instead of a spring game, like many programs have, like USC has, no, it's a spring showcase. Is it at their stadium? The Rose Bowl? No, it's at a track field. It's at Drake Stadium on Saturday. It's not even the final practice. The athletic department couldn't even get the schedule right. The spring game is usually the culmination of spring practice, but not at UCLA. With UCLA, no, we're going to have more practices next week. We'll just let the public watch this one. Okay, everybody start stretching. Everybody line up. We're gonna run goal line defense. That'll be thrilling. Yeah, not at all. It is. I spent a lot of time trying to research why UCLA doesn't get any attention. Nobody even writes about them. You'd get more traffic on your MySpace page now than when you Google UCLA football. I think the reason that there's no connection, it has nothing to do with the head coach. You can question Chip Kelly's play calling all you want, but I don't think it has anything to do with the head coach. I think it has to do with the athletic directors that they've had. The only athletic director who had any connection to football in my lifetime was Peter Dallas. He was a 19-year athletic director for UCLA back when they were relevant, right? Under the Terry Donahue era. But here's the thing, when you pay attention to football, and I realize UCLA has been a basketball school, but they haven't been powerful in basketball until recently. When you pay attention to football, football is like the strong root from which every branch of the tree grows. It's the strongest root under the tree. But then you go and you look at who's been an athletic director for UCLA. Well, the current one, Martin Jarmond, now granted, he's only been there for less than 2 years. He played basketball, not football. The one he replaced, Dan Guerrero, baseball player, no connection to football. And then you go through the history of UCLA athletic directors, and only a couple of them had any connection to football. J.D. Morgan was the athletic director when I was a child and didn't know anything about sports. He was a tennis player. No, it's Ray Dallas. Ray Dallas understood that when you pay attention to football, even if you're a basketball school, but you pay attention to football, that is the strongest root of the tree, with those 19 national titles under his watch. This is a tone-deaf athletic department that does not care about football. How do we know? Well, UCLA, they beat their rival, SC, last year. They qualified for a bowl game. What happens? Well, they all go down to San Diego for the Holiday Bowl. You see the players, they're enjoying themselves on the roller coasters. And like an hour or so before the game, yeah, we're not playing. Now we don't feel like playing, we're not doing it. Now, the rumor was allegedly that a COVID test or two came out positive. And I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know if it's true or not. I simply don't know. What I do know is this. If you knew you had a positive COVID test, you should have told somebody. You should have told somebody before an hour and a half before the game. Instead, what the athletic department did, yeah, all of their boosters, they're in San Diego, they're happy, their football team is coming back and whatever. And they get into this big ballroom for a stupid fundraising chicken plate dinner about 2 hours before the game. And that's when the news broke about the COVID. Jarmond takes the days, he grabs the mic and says, yeah, we have COVID, peace. Thanks for showing up. There's a bucket over here. Feel free to contribute even more money to UCLA athletics. Bruins, baby. That was what the guy did. If you're a big money booster and you travel to see your favorite team play, why would you contribute to that? Why would you? I booked the route. I booked the room. I brought the wife. I brought the kids. We bought the tickets. We paid for all of this fun all around just to watch my favorite team play football, and you guys pull out and you don't even tell me until about 90 minutes before the game at a fundraiser that I've already paid for. And you're going to tell me that I'm going to support that crap? Hell no, I'm not going to support that crap. This is on the athletic department. This is not on Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly is being undermined. Oh, he's getting paid, but he's getting undermined. And you think that that just shows up in the head coach? No, it shows up with recruiting. It shows up with everything. Look, they didn't take advantage when USC was down. The Trojans, they haven't just stunk for a little bit. They've stunk for a while. They lost 60 scholarships back at around, say, 2010. 60. And Pete Carroll was like, nah, I'm not doing this. So he leaves for the NFL. And ever since then, the Trojans were coached by, say, way too young Lane Kiffin, way too drunk Steve Sarkisian, and way too incompetent Clay Hilton. You had an entire decade to take advantage, and you didn't do it. That's on the athletic department. That's not the coaching, that's the athletic department. You sit there and go, oh, hey, my rival's weak, better put some resources. Nope, they wouldn't do it. There's a distinct lack of hustle in recruiting during that decade. Who took advantage? Oregon. They put up billboards all across LA to tease and tantalize potential recruits. Come to Oregon, you'll get the playing time, we play fast, we play fun, we play exciting football, and you'll get to the NFL. Because USC is down, you're not going to get there with them. Why not come to Oregon? That message resonated. It was just a couple of lousy billboards. UCLA's athletic department wouldn't cut the check. One thing I can kind of appreciate, the admissions process. The UC schools will not bend their admissions standards if you're an athlete. Now, if you watch Fox News, they'll try to tell you that they'll bend the standards based on race, but I don't know. That's not my purview. I don't know, can't prove it, don't care. But you won't do it for athletes. USC will. And the final reason, which honestly I think is kind of important too. Why are you playing at the Rose Bowl? The Rose Bowl is a venerable facility. It's more than 100 years old, and it looks like it's over 100 years old. Give USC credit. They cut a check. They rebuilt a big chunk of the Coliseum just to make it more palatable to play in, to make it look more historic yet modern. UCLA hasn't done that. The Rose Bowl people haven't done that. And it's, by the way, it's 30 miles away, which in LA traffic is like 3 hours anyway. Yeah. Meanwhile, there's a perfectly good brand new state-of-the-art stadium called SoFi that's even closer. Why the hell aren't you trying to break the lease? Look, give the recruit something to hang his hat on. Going to the most state-of-the-art NFL stadium. And by the way, you don't think they would open up the doors for the Bruins? Of course they would open up the doors for the Bruins. The more events that they can get in that stadium, the better. But the Bruins won't even touch it. That's on the athletic department. They'd rather play at a stadium that's a couple hours drive away. It's nowhere near the campus. With zero, as they say, pizzazz. And if you don't think that shows up in recruiting, you're playing yourself. Look, the little information that I can get on UCLA football, their offense looks like a joke. And they return a bunch of people. It's because people keep abandoning UCLA. There is no excuse that UCLA can't at least compete with USC. But they are willingly surrendering it. And the rest of the athletic department is suffering. And I'm a USC fan. But I'm here to tell you, I want a legit rival. But we're not going to get it from them. I guess we have to go all the way to Indiana to find ours, huh? Now, if you enjoyed today's content, by all means, like and subscribe to the channel. We want to build something special here. Thank you very much for watching. I'm James. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Cortale Queso production. Have a good day. Bye-bye.